big fin. So we've talked about lobsters, deshelling. We bring in live lobsters. They do have a shelf life. When the lobsters start to get a little bit less active, we don't want to lose them because then we're basically throwing money in the trash. So what we then do is we take these lobsters, we steam them off, and we deshell them, as I showed you. And then what do we do with the lobster meat? One of our most popular dishes here in the restaurant is our lobster mac and cheese. What we're going to do is we're going to show you how to make our 5-cheese lobster mac. What I have here is we have our lobster that we've already deshelled, chilled down, a shallot, some garlic, scallions, and then we have our 5-cheese blend. Our 5-cheese blend that we use here in the restaurant, which is also wonderful on one of our burgers during happy hour. We have some Monterey Jack. I'm going to go ahead and mix this up. Monterey Jack, some shredded cheddar, and I have taken the liberty of already shredding all of these from block. We have our smoked Gouda. I have this in there because the smokiness going with our bacon. We then have some Gruyere. In all of my cooking, I like to have my flavors layered, and the Gruyere is what I call a funk. It's a form of a Swiss cheese. And then we have our Parmesan. Parmesan is where I'm going to get my salt from. We're going to go ahead and mix this up. So we're going to go ahead and mix our cheese. Put my gloves on. Sometimes the best tools we have in the kitchen are our hands. So again, I have Monterey Jack, and for the sake of a smaller batch, I have 1 cup of Monterey Jack, 1 cup of shredded cheddar, I have a half a cup of the smoked Gouda, a half a cup of the Gruyere, and a 1/4 cup of the Parmesan. We're just going to mix this carefully here, just to get it all incorporated and mixed up. We don't want too much of one flavor. Again, although I'm making 3 1/4 cups total weight of the cheese, I'm only going to use about a cup, cup and a half for the recipe. And that does make one fairly large portion of the lobster mac. So I've now got this done. One other ingredient, or 2 other ingredients, we have our bacon. So here in the kitchen, we take a bacon belly, or pork belly, non-smoked, and we actually cure it, create a bacon. Smoke it right at the end for several hours. Then we have this slab of nicely par-cooked bacon. We then take and cut it in long strips, and then furthermore cut it down into sort of a cylinder of some sort. This is called a bacon lardon. You could actually use sliced bacon. You could use prosciutto. There's quite a few different types of pork product you could use. If you don't want to use pork, you don't have to. You can use some butter, a little bit of oil. But we like to use the pork, render it down, and begin our process. Finally, of course, heavy cream. So real quick, I'm going to go ahead and get our shallots and our garlic chopped up. Now we're ready to actually go to the stove and cook up our lobster mac and cheese, our 5-cheese. And a little recap here, we have our garlic, our shallot chopped, our scallions, we have of course our lobster meat, we have our bacon lardons, we have our 5-cheese blend. Again, it's Monterey Jack, cheddar, smoked Gouda, Gruyere, Parmesan. And to finish it off, we have some heavy cream. And you ask, well, what about the pasta? At Big Fin, we like to use a corkscrew-style macaroni. It's called cavatappi. What we do here, for the sake of time, because when somebody orders an appetizer, we want to get it out fairly quickly. We par-cook our pasta, cool it down, and then we pre-portion it. And what we're doing here is about a 4-ounce portion of the cavatappi with this corkscrew macaroni. So let's go ahead and take all of this over to the stove and get cooking. Okay, so we're ready to start cooking. First thing we want to do is we want to get the bacon lardons rendered down, because that's where a lot of our flavor is going to go. We're going to let that natural fat break down. It's going to give us some nice oil in the pan. It's going to allow us to actually bring the entire dish together. So let's start with the lardons. You can actually see all of that beautiful fat. This is the point where it's the best to smell that bacon. Wake up every morning smelling that. Again, we use the bacon lardons. If you wanted, you can get strip bacon from your local grocer or your local butcher. You can then dice that up. You can get some nice prosciutto. You can even use things like a breakfast sauce if you want to do something like this for breakfast or lunch. Also, you're not restricted to using lobster meat. You can use crab meat. You can do some leftover fish. I've had people order it with chicken, shrimp. Totally up to you what you want to use. Well, you now see that it's started changing a nice color. All that beautiful fat has come out of the bacon. Now it's time to actually build the dish. We're going to put in the lobster, garlic, shallots, and the scallions. At this point, I'm going to add a pinch of salt and white pepper. Very little salt is necessary because you're getting that natural salt from the pork. I'm going to add my heavy cream. Let the heavy cream start reducing. The fat will actually start to emulsify into the cream. All that flavor is building. I'm going to go ahead and add my cavatappi pasta. At this point, I'll add a little salt to the pasta. Start incorporating that. Add the cheese so it can become good. Now it's just a matter of bringing it all together. Here's where I'm going to actually taste to make sure that the guest is getting a wonderful pasta and that the seasonings are right. Wonderful. Now we're going to go ahead and put it in the bowl. Sprinkle a little Parmesan as a garnish. I'm Chef James Slattery, Big Fin Seafood Kitchen, and this was our 5-cheese bacon lobster mac.